It seems that nowadays game developers are more into remasters than releasing the original games. Well, it makes sense to focus on making easy money rather than making a fully original game from scratch. From a business point of view, why won't they make a remastered version of every hit game they have? But this practice is killing the gaming industry for gamers. Let me tell you why. It's not like remastered games were not being released before and it is a completely new thing right now. No, it is not. It was always a common practice in the video game world. Every now and then, games used to either change platforms or hardware. For that reason, remasters were always there. For example, the 1997 original version of Age of Empires got a remastered release in 2018 as Age of Empires Definitive Edition. They updated some visuals and sound and released the game at full price. Bravo! Alan Wake was remastered too, and God knows why we needed that remastered version. It was a remastered version which had almost zero upgrades, and some upgrades that they did went in the exact opposite direction that would improve the game. In the remastered version, they made the game a little bit brighter than the original one. Since it was a survival horror game, the darkness was an important feature that helped the players to get more immersive feelings in the environment. The remastered one made the game brighter. What a fantastic choice to have. The famous Assassin's Creed series had some remastered versions like the Assassin's Creed 3. You will find tons of side-by-side comparisons of the original and the remastered one on YouTube. The funniest thing you will get to see is that there is actually not one aspect of the game that you can call a genuine upgrade. It's like they added some color filters to the game and released that as a remaster. That's it. They made the game a little bit brighter than the original one. I don't get the fascination of making games brighter in the remaster phenomena. What is it, guys? Do the developers think that if we make the game brighter, the gamers would think that this is a graphical upgrade or something like this? What is the point of making every game brighter? They did not change the assets in Assassin's Creed 3. The assets are the same old assets. The character models remain the same old too. The environment has hardly changed. What did they do? They made the game a little bit brighter. What a technical achievement. Devil May Cry also released a remastered version in 2015, which was a slightly performance-based upgrade. If you look closely at both the original and the remastered versions, it would be insanely tough to find the difference between both versions. Though Mafia I Definitive Edition was a significantly masterful recreation of the original with modern-day graphics, they have also released a Definitive Edition that is pure bullcrap, and that is Mafia II Definitive Edition. It's insane how they thought we could just add some little bit of visual upgrade and call it a full game. In Mafia 2, they changed some of the previous low-resolution assets and added some high-resolution ones, but this also falls into the same old typical false dream of remastered games. The dream they show us is where we would get a fantastic remake, but we always end up getting a brighter version of the original game. One of the worst Definitive Edition in the history of games is the Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. I mean, is there any other remaster or Definitive Edition that can overthrow this one's negative reaction? I don't think so. This is the worst of the worst. Rockstar's Trilogy has the most nostalgic value in gamers' heart. Every now and then a modder does a specific mission or places remake and gamers shower their love to that video. Everyone waited for years and years for the remake of their beloved Trilogy's remake. Liberty City, Vice City and San Andreas are the games that revolutionized the open world genre. I mean, Rockstar single-handedly changed the video games forever. They did things that nobody had done before. They put an insane amount of details in GTA 4's game physics, which was not even necessary in 2008, like the NPC runs for the shelter or opens an umbrella when it rains, or the car physics is incredible too. To date, GTA 4 has the most realistic car physics of all time. The insane amount of realism you can find in RDR2 is unbelievable. It's almost impossible to believe that one developer can go to that level of detail. Rockstar Games is the company that everyone respects the most, and then they released Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy the Definitive Edition, which is to date their worst release of all time. Not only did they not change anything significant, but also this new Definitive Edition is very poorly optimized. They only changed the textures and added the magical potion for remasters and the Definitive Edition. They made the game brighter than the original one. They did not even upgrade the character models one tiny bit. Even the modders who do those stuff for free have better character models of CG or Tommy. It is not even that hard for them. At least they could have made some of the original characters' models, but they chose to not. The optimization was insanely bad. I couldn't even properly run the game with my 3070 Ti. What is the point of this remaster? Every single player or major critic house called that one a joke. God knows why they released that damn definitive edition. And finally, The Last of Us 2 is also coming with a remastered version. This is actually insane because The Last of Us 2 is still talked about as a reference to how good and beautiful a game can look. It is still referenced as a phenomenal looking game and they are releasing a remaster. God knows what they think before doing those kind of stuff. Why not release an original game? What is the point of this remastered version? If Rockstar releases a remastered version of RDR2, would that make any sense right now? RDR2 is still considered one of the most beautiful games of all time. Every game that came after RDR2 has been compared to it. So if suddenly Rockstar thinks about releasing a remastered version of RDR2, how would people react to that? Obviously not with warm and lovable hugs. People would mock the hell out of it. The Last of Us 2 is getting the same reaction. Why not making an original game? Why are they releasing the Uncharted expansion and the remaster of Last of Us? This is the problem of remasters and definitive editions. Companies focus on this kind of stuff to make money and forget about the fans. They do not care what fans want nowadays at all. They only want to make more money somehow. Day after day, the big companies are focusing on remasters more than original games. That is just pure sadness, nothing else.